Discover the incredible secret, poor cleaner, hidden billionaire prince, exposed after 25 years. Eva felt the soft, cool breeze on her face as she walked through the pristine streets of Crestwood Heights. With her worn-out sneakers, she was a stark contrast to the polished cars gliding by, each rolling past like a scene from a movie that wasn't meant for her eyes. For 25 years, she had navigated this wealthy enclave, invisibly cleaning dream homes that echoed with laughter and luxury. Yet on the other side of the shimmering glass doors, her heart grew heavy with the weight of stark contrasts. Today, the world that held her captive would spin wildly out of control. When she returned home to their modest apartment, the scent of Mia's cooking wrapped around her like a warm hug. Their laughter echoed through the small space, a melody of hope and comfort. While the opulence of Crestwood Heights dazzled the eye, it was the love they shared that was the true treasure in Eva's life. Every late-night chat, every shared meal lived deep in her heart, stitching hope and resilience into their tapestry, but something looming over Crestwood Heights changed everything. A renovation at one of her employer's estates, one so grand it felt like a palace, revealed a hidden room. Dust motes danced in the beams of sunlight as Eva entered, her heart pounding in expectation and fear. What lay hidden within those walls turned her world upside down, a court order detailing her birthright as a princess. Her mind raced, the elegant gowns and sparkling tiaras now felt like shackles, binding her to a life she wasn't sure she wanted. As the news broke, it wasn't just the glittering elite of Crestwood Heights that took notice, her friends and neighbors did too. The same people who used to share gossip and laughter now wore expressions of jealousy and disbelief. Can you believe it? That cleaning lady, a royal. They whispered behind her back, their voices a cacophony of hushed admiration and judgment. It was as though she had transformed from one of them to something far more extraordinary and alien. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Standing before the mirror, Eva could barely recognize the woman looking back at her, split between two realities, the caring mother she knew and the princess she never expected to be. The choice choked her. Claim her birthright and forsake her friends? Or remain a humble cleaner whose laughter filled the walls of their apartment? Just then, Mia's innocent question broke through. Mom, will we still be us? That simple inquiry struck at her heart, pulling her down toward the very essence of who they were. As the clock ticked louder, each second pressed against her conscience. With eager eyes and hopeful smiles lingering in her neighborhood, she felt a surge of belonging. Would she choose to face the judgment of the elite, or embrace the love that had always grounded her? Eva stood, breathtaking, heart pounding, the door before her creaking with possibility. As she reached for the handle, uncertainty filled the air, and the question lingered: who would she become? As she turned the handle, the door swung open, revealing a world painted in vibrant colors she had never imagined. Under the soft glow of the chandelier, the room felt like a dreamscape. Everything sparkled, reflections of her past and possibilities of her future. Yet the weight of that single choice pressed heavily on her chest, like a lead anchor tethering her to what she had always known. Mia's eyes narrowed with curiosity as Eva stepped into the room, her heart racing. Mom, are you okay? The question hung in the air, innocent yet profound. It was a reminder of the life they had built together, laughter echoing within their modest walls. Eva gulped, searching for strength. How could she explain this new identity a princess to be? Would it tear their world apart? With every passing moment, the bustle outside seemed to amplify, the laughter echoing from the neighbors' homes growing louder, reminding her of the life she had wanted to protect. She felt the world beyond the door, people buzzing with joy, unaware of the storm that raged within her. With a deep breath, she stepped back into her old reality, the familiar walls of her apartment comforting and steady. Everything's fine, sweetie, Eva assured, forcing a smile that felt brittle at the edges. Yet even as she spoke, her mind swirled with images of grand parties, royal banquets, and expertly tailored gowns. A life where she would be a person of importance, an image so alluring yet so far removed from the woman who told bedtime stories to her daughter each night. A knock at the door startled them both. "Eva." "It's me, Sarah," called her friend, bursting in with the energy of a whirlwind. Eva felt her stomach twist. Sarah was one of those who had shared days of laughter over coffee in the sun-drenched kitchen, her heart tethered to the familiar. Yet, she was now a constant reminder of everything that was about to change. "Are you okay? You've been acting strange since the news broke." Eva opened her mouth to respond, but the words caught in her throat. How could she explain her ocean of feelings? The trepidation and wonder mingling in a tumultuous dance. I don't know what's next," she finally said, her voice barely above a whisper. The truth lingered between them like a secret. As they sat at the small table, surrounded by the aroma of Mia's warm stew, Eva searched Sarah's familiar face for understanding. "Listen," Sarah said softly, leaning forward. "You have a chance to live a life most can only dream of. A world where your name, Princess Eva, will echo in halls of power. Isn't that what everyone wants?" Eva looked away, the words heavy with a pressure she hadn't prepared for. What did she truly want? In moments like this, a revelation struck her. This was more than a fairy tale. It was a choice that could shatter the very fabric of her world. How could she give up Mia's laughter for the applause of strangers? Silence wrapped around them, bursting with unspoken truths as Eva's heart waged war against itself. As the evening shadows lengthened, casting a soft glow in the room, she knew something monumental was brewing. Maybe it was time to face the inevitable. But what if, in embracing her royal identity, she lost who she truly was? "Sarah," Eva finally said, her heart racing. "What if I don't want to be a princess?" Sarah's eyes widened, and a hesitant silence settled between them as a truth loomed heavy in the air. And just then, a message buzzed on her phone, an invitation to the grand ball at the estate, where she would need to make the ultimate decision. Would she embrace the life she never wanted, or step back into the shadows she called home? Eva took a deep breath, the stakes higher than ever as she realized the choice lay fully in her hands. The air in the room felt heavy with tension as Eva stared at her phone, the screen lighting up her face with the glittering invite. The message read like a command, each word pulsing with expectation and urgency. What if this was her moment? What if it changed everything? "Are you really considering it?" Sarah's voice cut through her thoughts, sharp and probing. "This could be your chance to change everything for Mia too." Eva shook her head, feeling the push and pull of her emotions. "But at what cost, Sarah? Becoming a princess sounds beautiful, but it's like stepping into a world filled with strangers who don't know me, who don't know us." "Us?" Mia piped up, her eyes wide and hopeful. "Can I come too? I want to see the princesses." Her young voice made Eva's heart swell, and at the same time, twist painfully. The thought of Mia in a fairy tale dress, dancing among elegantly dressed nobles, brought a bittersweet smile to her face. How could she do that to her daughter? "Yes, my sweet girl, but you're scared," Mia interrupted, her tone serious for a child. "You're scared that you will forget our home." Eva knelt down to her level, brushing a strand of hair behind Mia's ear. "I love our home more than anything. But I also feel this pull." She hesitated, the weight of her hesitation tangible. "It feels like something big is about to happen. But what if I lose you?" Mia smiled, her innocence wrapping around Eva like a warm blanket. "You'll never lose me, Mom. I'm always going to be with you. Just like a princess and her queen." The thought brought both warmth and anguish, a realization striking her. Maybe this wasn't just about her choice but about what this dream meant for them both. "Okay." Sarah's voice broke through again, firm and resolute. "You need to figure this out. Make a pros and cons list if you have to. But this will affect more than just your life, it'll impact Mia's too. Are you ready to embrace that possibility?" Eva nodded slowly, feeling the weight of Sarah's words sink in. She needed to evaluate what this would truly mean, not just for herself, but for her daughter. Suddenly, a shiver ran down her spine. What if she made the wrong choice? The image of a glamorous ballroom flitted to her mind, gowns swirling, dignitaries mingling, but then dimmed as she envisioned Mia's laughter fading into echoes. I need to think, she finally murmured, glancing at the invitation again. It pulsed with opportunity and fear. Just then, the door creaked open slightly, and an unexpected figure appeared. Max, the messenger sent from the estate. His familiar face was a reminder that the royal world wasn't just a fantasy. He stood there, holding something in his hand, his expression unreadable. Eva, he said softly, it's time for you to make a decision. The intensity of his gaze sent her heart racing, the gravity of the moment thick in the air. What could he have in store for her? As he stepped into the room, his presence shifted everything, filling the space with unspoken possibilities. And then he began, there's something crucial you need to understand before you go to the ball. Her breath caught in her throat, anticipation electrifying the air around them. What could Max reveal that would change everything? Max took a slow, measured step forward, his expression serious, as if he were about to divulge a treasured secret. The shift in his demeanor sent ripples of confusion through Eva. What do you mean? She managed, her heart pounding in her chest. What's so important? There's more to the royal family than you realize, he said, leaning in slightly, lowering his voice as though afraid someone might overhear. And you, Eva, are connected to it in ways you can't imagine. A furrow formed between her brows. Was this a game? Some elaborate hoax? Yet, the intensity in his eyes held her attention like a magnet, pulling her closer to the mystery. Connected how? Max held out a small velvet pouch, the kind that seemed to cradle something precious. Inside this is a family heirloom. It belonged to your mother. Eva's hands trembled as she reached for the pouch. It felt warm, almost alive beneath her fingertips. My mother? She repeated, feeling the weight of memories flood back. Her mother had always been a modest woman, her life lived in the shadows of dreams unfulfilled. She had worn so little jewelry, just a simple silver locket tucked under her dress. What does this heirloom have to do with me? Your mother was not just a cleaner, Eva, Max said quietly. She came from a lineage tied to the royal family. A lineage that may have been lost, but never forgotten. The room spun around her. It was like a scene from a movie, the sort where the protagonist suddenly learns she is of noble blood. A wave of disbelief hit her hard. This can't be right. My life was ordinary. Ordinary, he echoed, his voice low and soothing. Until now. With a shaky breath, Eva undid the drawstring, pulling the velvet apart. Inside, a shimmering pendant glistened in the light, catching her breath. It was intricate, embodying the essence of royalty, gems embedded in a delicate design, something that clearly belonged to another era. This belonged to your grandmother, Max explained, as he dropped to one knee, still holding that intense gaze. She was a princess before she became a servant. And you, my dear Eva, are her heir. What? The word escaped her mouth in a near whisper, laced with disbelief. I'm supposed to believe that? This doesn't make sense. The ball. It's not just a dance, it's your opportunity to reclaim your history and embrace your destiny. There are people who need to know you. The family hasn't forgotten you. He paused, letting the weight of his words settle over her. But you must choose to accept it. Mia's hopeful gaze flashed in her mind. Would this change everything for her little girl, giving her the fairy tale she dreamed of? Accept what? Eva murmured, her hands gripping the pendant tightly. The room felt constricting, the air suffocating. The weight of the choices before her felt heavier than ever. Max stood up, slightly, his eyes pleading for her to understand. You can be more than you ever thought possible, but only if you embrace your past. Be brave, Eva. Casting a glance back at Mia, who was now playing quietly in the corner, Eva felt her heart swell again. This was bigger than her. The weight of her decision loomed over her like a storm cloud ready to burst. Will you help me? She asked finally, her voice barely above a whisper, flickering with a spark of determination. Max nodded slowly, his expression softening. Together, we can change everything. It begins at the ball, just as you feared, but perhaps, it could lead to something beautiful. Just as that small glimmer of hope ignited within her, the door swung open again, this time by a frantic Sarah. Eva, there you are. I was worried you'd gone. Max straightened, stepping away from Eva, ready to retreat into the shadows as if he'd become a ghost in the room. What's happening? Sarah's eyebrows shot up, confusion written all over her face. Nothing, Eva said too quickly, clutching the pendant tighter in her palm. As she looked between her best friend and the messenger, she knew she was standing at the edge of something huge. They were about to uncover a birthright, and if they did, there would be no turning back. But maybe, just maybe, it was time to discover who she really was. As Sarah eyed them both suspiciously, Eva felt a rush of adrenaline. Would she be able to tell her everything? Or would this moment slip through her fingers like grains of sand? The decision weighed on her like the pendant in her palm, and deep down, she knew she couldn't hide from her destiny much longer. The tension hung in the air, thick and electric. Eva's heart raced, a whirlwind of emotions swirling inside her: the thrill of discovery, the pang of fear, and the powerful urge to protect Mia from a world that felt suddenly precarious. Are you two okay? Sarah's voice broke through the fog of uncertainty. Her eyes darted between Eva and Max, now positioned like two players in a high-stakes game. Yeah, just catching up, Eva replied, forcing a smile that barely reached her eyes. She could feel the weight of the pendant around her neck, a tangible reminder of all that was at stake, a legacy she didn't even know she had, but what could she say? How do you share a truth so colossal? How do you tell her best friend that she might be royalty? It seemed absurd, yet the pulse of destiny beat defiantly inside her chest with every passing second. I really think we should talk, Max urged, his voice firm but gentle, pulling her back onto the path of clarity. We can't afford to be vague about any of this. Talk about what? Sarah pressed, hands on her hips, unconvinced. Eva hesitated, picking at the frayed edges of her thoughts like a child tugging on a loose thread. About family and where I come from. The weight of her words felt almost as heavy as the secret she had just learned. Mia suddenly giggled in the corner, her small hands tossing the colorful blocks she had played with, blissfully unaware of the turmoil swirled around her mother. That innocent laughter spread warmth through Eva's heart, urging her to pick the right path. Sarah, I just found out that my mom was connected to something much bigger than we ever knew. It's complicated, but I think. Wait. What do you mean, connected to something? Sarah's interest shifted, her previous suspicion fading to concern. Max stepped forward, ready to share the truth. Eva's mother was part of a royal lineage. It's why she's now tied to this family heirloom. The silence after his revelation was deafening. Eva watched as Sarah processed his words, the skepticism dissolving slowly into disbelief before eventually shifting to wonder. Are you serious? Like, a princess serious? Yes, Max affirmed, his gaze steady. But it's more than that. There's a ball coming up, and Eva has the chance to reclaim her identity. To understand who she truly is. Eva felt a lump form in her throat. This wasn't just about her anymore, it was about Mia, too, a chance to build a future, perhaps even embrace a world littered with possibilities. Oh my God, Sarah whispered, her expression shifting to one of awe. Are you really thinking of going? Eva shrugged, feeling a mix of emotions boil up within her. I don't know, Sarah. It's terrifying. What if I don't belong? What if I ruin everything? You have to try, Sarah said, her voice urgent but calm. You owe it to yourself and Mia. And besides, everyone deserves to know where they come from. With each sentence, a flicker of determination ignited within Eva. Sarah was right. Clinging to an ordinary life felt increasingly limiting as the weight of something extraordinary beckoned her forward. The prospect of facing a lineage she had been blind to filled her with trepidation but also exhilaration. Overwhelmed by the weight of expectations and dreams, Eva glanced at Mia again. Okay. I'll go. Amazing. Sarah cheered, her excitement spilling over. We'll figure it out, together. Eva felt the heat of hope radiating off her friend, strongly contagious. But as much as that warmth spread through her, a gnawing fear still lingered. What if the royal world had no place for her? What if she didn't measure up? Max took a step closer, his gaze unwavering. You'll never know unless you try, Eva. We'll face it together. She nodded, feeling the strength in his words settling in her chest. But just as confidence began to bloom, a new thought struck her with force. What if they don't want me? What if I'm not what they remember? Then we make them remember, Max declared, his conviction washing over her like a wave. In that moment, Eva realized it was more than a choice to attend a ball, it was a commitment. To herself, to her daughter, and to the woman she could become. Suddenly, the door flew open, and an elegant older woman entered, her presence radiating authority and grace. My apologies. I heard there was a discussion about the upcoming ball. I believe I might be able to help. Eva's breath hitched. Who was this woman? What secrets did she hold that could possibly intertwine with her own? Could this night bring her the answers she desperately sought? Would she finally unlock the mystery that tugged at her heart? The weight of her newfound lineage pressed against her heart, and in that instant, she understood this was just the beginning of her journey. The woman stepped further into the room, her poise captivating. Her silver hair was pulled back in a neat bun, and her emerald dress shimmered softly in the warm light. Eva felt a mixture of awe and apprehension. Who was she, and what kind of help could she provide? I am Lady Celeste, she announced, her voice rich with a British accent that added an air of sophistication. And I believe I can guide you, Eva. Eva's stomach twisted. Guide me how? Your royal lineage is more than just an ancestral title. It carries responsibilities, duties, and, yes, opportunities. The ball isn't merely for celebration, it's a chance for you to step into your role. Eva exchanged glances with Max and Sarah, unsure of what to make of this sudden intrusion. But I don't even know what that means. Lady Celeste smiled gently, sensing the trepidation in Eva's voice. It means you have a heritage to honor, a story to reclaim. The kingdom honors those who choose to embrace their past, and it is time for you to shine, to show the world who you are meant to be. As the lady spoke, a flickering hope ignited within Eva. Could this truly be a possibility? To live a different life, one with purpose and meaning? But her heart ached with a pang of uncertainty. Would they really accept her? Mia babbled, her small hands reaching for a toy nearby, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing in her mother's heart. All the fears Eva felt were swallowed by her love for her daughter. I can't just abandon my life here, Eva protested, her voice shaky. Mia needs me. Lady Celeste took a step closer, her eyes piercing through Eva's doubts. You can be both, dear. A mother and a leader. They are not mutually exclusive. Remember, every strong woman has to take a chance on herself to inspire those she loves. Max nodded, his eyes filled with encouragement. You can do this, Eva. You're stronger than you know. Underneath the weight of Lady Celeste's words, Eva began to feel the stirring of resolve. What kind of example would she be for Mia if she didn't at least try? I've spent my whole life trying to create an ordinary world for her. What if it turns out I'm not cut out for this? Then you will learn, Lady Celeste replied, confidence radiating from her. Every path is paved with challenges, it's how we navigate them that defines us. Let us unlock this journey together. Eva's heart pounded as she contemplated the possibilities. This was more than just a royal event, it was her chance to transform herself. To embrace a heritage she had always brushed aside. Okay, I'll do it, she said finally, her voice steadier than before. I want to learn. I want to know who I really am. The older woman's smile deepened, a mix of approval and something more admiration, perhaps. Excellent. We'll need to prepare. The ball is in 2 weeks, and there is much to do. As Lady Celeste began outlining plans, Eva felt the current of her life shift. It was daunting yet exhilarating. She glanced at Mia, who smiled brightly, radiating trust in her mother. But just as everything seemed to fall into place, doubt crept back. Would she truly be ready? And then came a knock at the door, pulling her from her thoughts. The sound echoed ominously, a herald of change. Who could that be? Sarah wondered aloud, a hint of caution in her voice. The door swung open, revealing a tall figure dressed in a dark suit, his expression unreadable. "I'm looking for Eva," he stated, his voice calm yet urgent. Eva's heart raced, and a chill ran through her. Who was this man? What more could be revealed about her past? As the air crackled with anticipation, she felt the gravity of her journey intensifying, and the truth beckoned her forward. Would she uncover more about her heritage or face another twist that could threaten her newfound hope? Eva took a cautious step back, glancing at Max and Sarah as if seeking their silent approval. The man's presence sent a shiver down her spine. There was something about him, confidence mingled with mystery. "Me?" Eva stammered, her voice barely above a whisper. "Yes, you," he replied, his dark eyes scanning her face with an intensity that felt disarming. "I need to speak with you about your family." Her heart raced. Family? The word echoed ominously in her mind. A part of her wanted to run, just gather Mia and disappear into the mundane safety of her routine. But curiosity, an irresistible force, held her in place. "What do you know about my family?" Eva asked, steeling her resolve. The man stepped into the room, closing the door behind him with a soft click. His gaze shifted momentarily to Lady Celeste, who regarded him with a mixture of concern and intrigue. "You should introduce yourself, Julian," she urged. "Julian," he offered, his voice like warm chocolate. "I'm an advisor to the royal family." "What do you mean, my family?" Eva asked again, a lump forming in her throat. Was it possible that the secrets of her lineage were about to unfurl before her? "It's complicated," he began, running a hand through his tousled hair. "I've been tasked with locating you. The kingdom's historical records trace your lineage back to the royal house of Eldoria. You are a descendant of a once great line." Those words resonated through her, both thrilling and terrifying. "But my mother always said we were just ordinary." "Many truths remain hidden behind ordinary facades," Julian replied, his tone firm. "Your mother made choices that led her away from her past, but it's time to face it. There are forces at play, and you are the key to restoring balance." A whirlwind of emotions flooded Eva's mind. She thought about her mother's cautious explanations, the absence of the royal life she could have led. The hints of mystery lingered in the air, and now, standing before this man, her reality was shifting. "Balance? What do you mean?" she pressed. Julian hesitated. "There are threats emerging that seek to undermine the very foundation of your heritage. The ball will be a pivotal moment not just for you, but for the kingdom. They are expecting you to take your place." Mia sensed the tension and pulled at Eva's leg, looking up with innocent, wide eyes. Eva knelt down, softening at her daughter's presence. "It's okay, sweetie," she whispered. "But it's about to get complicated." "Mommy." Mia's tiny hand gripped Eva's tight, filling her with a rush of love mixed with fear. "I promise, I'll protect you," Eva murmured, stumbling over her own resolve. Did she even understand what she was stepping into? Was there a path forward that included both her love for Mia and the call of her ancestry? Lady Celeste observed the exchange, her expression a blend of compassion and quiet strength. "Eva, you don't have to bear this alone. Let Julian guide you. But you must trust yourself. You have the strength to embrace this new reality." "Do I?" Eva replied, tears welling in her eyes. "This feels so big. What if it changes everything?" Julian stepped closer, his voice laced with urgency. "You are about to step into your destiny, Eva. And there's no turning back." A gasp escaped her lips, and she found herself struggling to breathe. Here she stood at a crossroads, her fears and dreams colliding violently. And just when the weight of the moment felt unbearable, another knock interrupted, harsh and insistent. "Open up. We need to talk about the prince." The word sent a jolt through her, leaving her breathless. Prince? What new revelation awaited her? A cold sweat broke out as she sensed fate tightening its grip. Would she be ready for whatever was about to unfold? The door rattled under the force of the loud knocks, pulling Eva back to the moment. Her breath caught as she turned toward the sound, her heart pounding wildly. "Who is it?" Julian called out, his voice steady and commanding. "The guards. We need to discuss this immediately." A muffled voice responded, urgency crackling through its tone. Max, who had been standing silently near the corner, shifted uneasily. "Maybe we should let them in now," Julian said sharply. "Just give us a moment." He turned back to Eva, a flicker of concern in his gaze. "Stay calm. We'll handle this." Eva's mind raced. Guards? Discuss what? She could feel Mia's small frame tremble slightly against her leg, the innocent child oblivious to the storm brewing around them. "What does this mean about the prince?" Eva whispered, her voice trembling. She could feel the weight of the world pressing down on her shoulders, the realization that every choice she made from this point forward could change everything they knew. Julian stepped closer, his dark eyes piercing through her uncertainty. "The prince holds knowledge that could alter your path, Eva. He knows secrets about the royal lineage, and possibly about your mother." But what if he the words stuck in her throat, her stomach churning with doubt. What if he doesn't want to help? Or worse, Max interjected, his voice quiet but firm. What if he's part of the forces trying to prevent you from reclaiming your place? Enough. Julian cut in, his urgency rising. He placed a reassuring hand on Eva's arm, grounding her. "Trust in what I told you. You are stronger than you realize." But trust felt enormous right now. Everything was unraveling into chaos, and she couldn't determine where her heart belonged. Did she trust this stranger who claimed to know her past, her potential? Could she balance her love for Mia and step into a role that had been kept from her for so long? The knocking intensified, echoing in the silence. "Open up now. We don't have time to waste." The voice was insistent, demanding that. A sudden thought gripped her. What if everything she dreamed of was out of reach? What if the price of truth was too high? Julian's grip tightened slightly as if sensing her thoughts. "We need to make a decision. Are you ready to face this, Eva?" At that moment, the door swung open, and several guards entered, their expressions grave. One of them stepped forward, scanning the room, settling on Julian. "We have urgent news regarding the prince's whereabouts. We can't waste time." Eva's stomach dropped as she felt the walls closing in, the shadows of fate stretching toward her. "What is going on?" she asked, her voice shaky but filled with determination. The lead guard hesitated, giving her a fleeting look of sympathy. "He's missing. And there are rumors that tie him to you." A lump formed in Eva's throat. Missing? How could this complicate things further? And what did it mean for her, for Mia? The world felt like it was spiraling, full of mysteries she never wanted to uncover. "Can I trust any of you?" she asked, her heart pounding fiercely. Julian nodded, his expression unwavering. "Together, we will find him and uncover the truth about your family, whatever it takes." As she looked around at the strangers now surrounding her, tension crackled in the air. Eva felt a flicker of determination surge within her. This was her moment. But little did she know, a revelation about the prince awaited that could shake the very foundation of her new reality. Would the truth about her family, and her connection to the prince, draw them closer together, or pull them further apart? The air was thick with unanswered questions as Eva prepared to leap into the unknown. The guards moved swiftly, eyes wide and alert, their presence filling the small room with an air of tension. Eva felt the knot in her stomach tighten, but she fought to keep her resolve. "What do you mean the prince is missing?" Julian pressed, urgency lacing his words. The lead guard took a step forward, clearing his throat. "He was last seen near the outskirts of the city, but we've lost all communication with him since the night the storm hit." His brow furrowed as he scanned the others, lingering on Eva. "Reports suggest he may have been headed toward the old castle ruins looking for someone." "Someone?" Eva repeated, her voice barely a whisper. Her heart raced. Was she the someone they were talking about? Yes, the guard said, his expression grim. There are whispers that tie his disappearance to your family's past. It's urgent we find him before others do. We don't know who else is searching. Eva looked at Julian, who watched her intently, his gaze a mixture of concern and determination. She felt a strange connection between herself and the prince. Could it be possible they were linked in more ways than one? What if he is in danger? Mia's timid voice broke through the charged atmosphere. The child clutched Eva's skirt, her wide eyes reflecting worry. Then we need to act fast, Julian said, his tone growing serious. Eva and I will go. We need to retrace the princess' last steps. Max, you stay here and keep an ear out for any new information. If the guards get anything, relay it to us immediately. Max nodded, though uncertainty clouded his features. Be careful, both of you. The rumors aren't just whispers anymore. There are forces that want to keep the prince and you from stepping into the light. Right. Eva took a deep breath, trying to find strength in her resolve despite the fear clawing at her insides. Let us go. We can't let him slip away. I need to know the truth. The guards stepped aside to let them pass, and as she walked out into the cool evening air, a chill ran down her spine. She could feel the weight of the world on her shoulders, balancing the hope of finding the prince with the fear of what truths might uncover. The streets felt eerily quiet as they moved purposefully toward the edge of the city. The dark clouds loomed overhead, mirroring the tumult inside her. Each step resonated with uncertainty. What awaited them in the ruins? Why would he seek me out? Eva asked, breaking the silence that surrounded their hurried journey. I'm nobody to him. Maybe nobody is precisely the point, Julian replied, glancing sideways at her. You're tied to his past, whether you know it or not. Your very existence could hold the key to understanding the princess' fate. Her heart raced again, but this time it was with adrenaline. Was it possible that she, a cleaner in a quiet town, held more power in her lineage than she had ever understood? What if everything we uncover changes everything? She whispered, fear and excitement intertwining. Then we embrace it, together, Julian said, his voice steady. You have the strength to face what is to come. As they approached the woods that surrounded the castle ruins, a sudden rustling nearby startled them. An unexpected figure emerged from the shadows, a cloaked figure with piercing eyes, watching them intently. Eva! The stranger shouted, stepping into the light of the moon. You have to listen. They're coming for you and you're not safe. Eva's heart raced even faster now. Who was this person? And how did they know her name? The air felt thick with dread and uncertainty. What had they walked into? As questions flooded her mind, the forest closed around them, engulfing them in an unsettling darkness that hinted at threats lurking just beyond their sight. Would this shadowed character reveal crucial answers, or drive them deeper into danger? The night was far from over, and so many secrets lay waiting to resurface. Eva stood frozen, heart racing, as the cloaked stranger's warning filled the air. Coming for me? She stammered, unable to comprehend the gravity of the words. The forest loomed dark and heavy around them, shadows creeping forward like whispers of dread. Who are you? Julian demanded, stepping protectively in front of Eva, eyes narrowing as he scrutinized the stranger. I'm a friend, the figure replied, voice hushed and urgent. But time is running out. You must act quickly. Act on what? Who is coming for me? Eva's voice trembled, almost pleading for clarity. The ones who want to suppress your truth. There are factions who believe you should never reclaim your past, never embrace your destiny. The stranger cleared their throat, pulling back the hood just enough for the moonlight to catch their sharp features. I'm Alex, an ally from the kingdom. I've come to warn you. They've been searching for you, and they know you're tied to the prince. The weight of Alex's words sank deep, wrapping around Eva's heart like a vice. What do you mean? She whispered urgently, feeling as if the ground might just give way beneath her. About the prince, Alex pressed. He is searching for you because of a powerful connection, one that can either unite or tear the kingdom apart. You are bound together by fate, and it's vital you find him before they do. Wait, Julian interjected, quickly grasping the situation. What does that mean? What's at stake? The prince holds the key to exposing the truth of your lineage and the dangers that come with it, Alex explained. But if you don't reach him in time, those who seek to keep you both in the dark may succeed. Mia clutched Eva's hand tighter, her innocent eyes wide with fear. Mommy, I don't like this, she whimpered, sensing the tension that filled the air. Sweetheart, it's okay, I'm right here, Eva soothed, though uncertainty surged in her mind. Her daughter's comfort held more power than she fully understood, and she knew in that moment, she had to be brave. For Mia. For the sake of their futures together. Then we need to hurry, Eva said decisively, her voice hardening with determination. Where do we find him, Alex? There's an abandoned tower near the ruins. That's where I last heard he was headed, Alex instructed, urgency seeping into their tone. But you must be careful. There are eyes watching. No more waiting, Julian said firmly, seizing the moment. Let us go. As they made their way through the overgrown thickets, Eva could feel her heart pounding. Every rustle in the leaves sent shivers down her spine, reminding her of the peril they faced. But at the same time, each beat echoed a determination inside her. She was ready to reclaim her story, the one she never knew belonged to her. The tower loomed like a creature in the dark, looming and foreboding, but also majestic in its decay. As they approached, her heart raced with renewed hope. Each step felt like it was pulling her deeper into a world that was hers, intertwined with the princess' fate. Mia, stay close, Eva instructed softly as they neared the entrance, hesitating at the darkened archway. The air crackled with unsaid promises and mysteries just waiting to unfold. Are you sure? Julian asked. We could wait for backup. No, Eva replied, her voice steady. I want to let fear hold me back. Not when I'm so close to uncovering who I really am. With that, she led the way inside, the dust swirling in the beams of moonlight that seeped through the cracks. The space was thick with stories waiting to be told. Echoes of the past reverberated like whispers against the walls. As they moved deeper, it felt as though the fabric of time itself shifted. She could almost hear the distant thrill of royal celebrations, the laughter, the music, a warmth resting beneath the coldness of the walls. This is it, Alex breathed, pointing to a staircase spiraling upward. We need to hurry up there. Suddenly, an echoing crash shattered the stillness, shaking the very foundation of the tower. Dread washed over them as daylight flickered, and they froze. Heart racing, Eva held her breath. Realization dawning. Someone's here, Julian said, urgency lacing his tone. Get ready, Eva whispered, adrenaline coursing through her veins. We can't let fear stop us now. With that, they sprinted upward, every footfall resonating like a rallying cry. They needed to find the prince and unlock the truth before darkness fell completely. As they reached the top, the wooden door creaked open, revealing a vague silhouette in the light. Who's there? An indistinct voice called, edged with vulnerability. Prince? It's Eva. Her heart surged, driven by hope and something deeper. The urgency of her lineage flared bright within her. I'm here. The figure turned, and as the shadows fell away, she saw his face, a blend of familiarity and awe. You came. Yes, she breathed, filling her lungs with unyielding purpose. I came to reclaim my life, to be your ally. In that moment, every doubt faded, replaced by conviction. If love could bridge their worlds, together, they could reforge the past and embrace the future, bound in the unbreakable chain of family. As security and whispers pressed in around them, Eva knew this was only the beginning. The path ahead was still veiled in uncertainty, but she would face it with courage by her side, along with the child she loved and the prince who would help her unveil the truth. Despite the looming shadows, Eva felt the spark of hope ignite her spirit. Together, they would seize what was lost and forge ahead into the dawn of their destiny. This was more than just a journey, it was a transformation, a reclamation, woven through the threads of love, lineage, and the relentless power of choice. Now was the moment, a moment to embrace their identities, fight for what was right, and transform their fates forever. As they stood together beneath the weight of the night, with courage in their hearts and truth on the horizon, she knew they would not falter. They would shine. As they stepped back toward the light, uncertainty melted away. It was time to break the chains of the past and step boldly into the role they were meant to play. Are you moved by this story? You need to subscribe now. Don't wait not even one more second. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment your thoughts and feelings about this epic conclusion. And share this video immediately with at least 5 friends who need to witness this incredible transformation. Show your support. Only true fans understand how crucial your engagement is for the channel. Thank you.